You ever pick up a hitchhiker? It's a question that might seem harmless at first, but the answer could lead you down a path you never expected. Maybe you shouldn't after hearing this. This story might just change your mind forever. It was a cold, rainy night. The kind of night where the rain seems to seep into your bones and the darkness feels almost alive. I was driving back home on a deserted highway, the kind where you don't see another car for miles. The road stretched out endlessly before me, a ribbon of black asphalt cutting through the night. Suddenly I saw a figure standing on the roadside, thumb out, drenched in the downpour. The sight was almost surreal, like something out of a nightmare. Against my better judgment, I pulled over. The man got in. His presence filled the car with an eerie silence. The man got in. He was quiet, kept his head low, and his clothes were soaked. Water dripped from his hair, forming small puddles on the car seat. I asked him where he was headed, but he just mumbled, "Just drive." His voice was barely audible over the sound of the rain pounding on the roof. The atmosphere in the car was thick with silence and something else I couldn't quite put my finger on. It was as if the air itself was charged with an unseen tension. As we drove, I noticed his eyes never left the road, and his hands clutched a small leather-bound book. The book looked old, its cover worn and weathered. Curiosity got the best of me, and I asked him about it. What could be so important that he held onto it so tightly? He finally spoke, his voice low and raspy. "It's a journal of the dead." My blood ran cold. The words hung in the air, heavy and foreboding. My blood ran cold. What did he mean by that? The question echoed in my mind, but I was too afraid to ask. Before I could ask, he opened the book and began reading aloud, strange chants that made my skin crawl. The words were in a language I didn't recognize, and they seemed to reverberate through the car. I felt a chill in the air, colder than the rain outside. It was as if the temperature had dropped several degrees in an instant. Suddenly the car radio crackled and the lights began to flicker. The car seemed to be reacting to the chants, as if it were alive. The man looked up, his eyes now glowing a sinister red. The sight was terrifying and I felt a surge of panic. I slammed on the brakes, but the car skidded and came to a halt. My heart was racing and I could barely breathe. I turned to him, my heart pounding. But he was gone. Just vanished. The passenger seat was empty as if he had never been there, but he was gone. Just vanished. The passenger seat was empty save for the leather-bound book. It lay there, ominous and foreboding. I grabbed it, trembling, and opened to a random page. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold the book. There, in my own handwriting, was an entry. The sight of my own writing sent a shiver down my spine. Picked up a hitchhiker. He vanished. The words were simple, but their meaning was profound and terrifying. I threw the book out the window and sped away, never looking back. The fear drove me to put as much distance between myself and that book as possible. To this day I wonder, was it real? The memory haunts me and I can't shake the feeling that it was more than just a hallucination, or just a figment of my imagination. The line between reality and nightmare has never been so blurred. One thing's for sure. I'll never pick up a hitchhiker again. The risk is too great, and the unknown too terrifying. I'll never pick up a hitchhiker again. Stay safe out there, folks. The road is full of mysteries, and not all of them are meant to be solved. You never know who, or what, you might pick up on the road. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Hit like, subscribe, and share if you dare. Your support helps us bring more chilling tales to life. Until next time, drive safely. And remember, the next hitchhiker you see might not be what they seem.